Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. We're going to look at something very special, something very beautiful in Parsha Re'eh. And we're going to see how pain and the sadness and the mourning of life, how these horrible events that we've experienced in the last couple of days, we're going to see something beautiful about how it can all be turned around. And we can change tragedy and sorrow and the darkness of the world right now into something great. We're going to start with the sad first. We're going to start with the sour, but we're going to see that out of the sour, something very sweet, something beautiful can come. And first, we're going to take a look at this horrible tragedy that's happened very recently. And these six young lives were lost to just cruelty and hatred. And it's hard. It's not easy to understand. And it just makes the world seem like a very, very dark place. And it's horrible to watch like the good and the innocent being destroyed by evil and hate. And we lost these young lives to just so just real quick, just say their names, just to remember them, and just to feel the sorrow of their young lives that unfortunately they you know won't get to experience the beauty of a marriage and family and a full life and seeing grandchildren. But Bezrat Hashem, they're in a pleasant world now. They're in Gan Eden. They're in the spiritual Garden of Eden right now. But we saw the loss of Eden Yerushalmi and Carmel Gott and Hirsch Goldberg Poland, an American. He just seemed like such a kind, such a nice young man. It's such sadness to see his life end far too soon. Alexander Lobanov and Almog uh, Sarusi and Uri Danino. I apologize if I didn't say anyone's name correctly, but it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand when we experience such tragedy. And unfortunately, since October the 7th, since that Shabbos of Simchas Torah, the world was turned upside down. The day of our greatest joy and our greatest happiness became unfortunately another massacre, another great suffering in Jewish history. But out of the sorrow and out of the pain and out of the sadness, there's something great that we learn in Parsha Re'eh, and something beautiful and something that transforms the darkness of the world back into the light, back into the good. And we're going to see something really incredible here. So the Parsha begins. Let me bring this up on the screen. Parsha Re'eh begins. If you want to look it up, it's the it's the 11th chapter in Devarim and Deuteronomy. It's the 26th pasuk, 26th verse, and we're taught something incredible here. And Hashem says Re'eh. He says, see, look. Anochi nosein lifnechem. I am putting before all of you, and this is the whole Jewish people, Hayom. I am putting before you today bracha uklala. That's a very powerful idea. Every day, the Jewish people, we have the ability to bring bracha, to bring blessing into the world. And how do we do this? How do we start to transform this world of darkness into the world of good and happiness and laughter and life? And how do we turn it all around? And the next pasuk, it gives us the hint, and it says, Es habracha asher tishma'u el mitzvos Hashem. It's the bracha, it's the blessing when you listen to the mitzvahs, the commandments of Hashem Elokeichem, of your God. Asher nochi mitzaveh eschem hayom, that I command you to this day to do the mitzvahs. So how does it work? How does doing the mitzvahs, how does it start to transform the world? And we learned something incredible from the Sfas Emes. And he talks about the most beautiful idea of how practically this all works. How does it work? How does mitzvah start to transform the world? How does it bring the bracha, the blessing into the world? How can we live? How can we leave and transform the world the way it is right now? Olam hazeh, this world, where we have death in the world and we have suffering in the world. And sometimes we have to watch, evil defeat good. And it's hard. And it's not what any of us want to see. We want to see the triumph of good over evil, the eradication of evil. And we want to see good be uplifted. And we want to see life. We want to see life return to the world, the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life, where death will be eradicated. And we want to see the end of sickness and suffering and pain. And we want to see the beautiful world of Olam Haba. So how do we start to get there? And Sfas Emes says something incredible. So what he quotes this idea from Mishlei, from Proverbs, written by Shlomo HaMelech, written by King Solomon. And it's in the 6th chapter, and it's the let me see, it is the 23rd verse. And Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, he tells us something very interesting. He says, Ki ner mitzvah. He says, because every mitzvah is a light. Every mitzvah is a candle. The Torah or. But the Torah itself, the whole Torah is a great light. And it says, V'derech Chaim, it is the way of life, sochachos musar. And the rebuke, that disciplines. Sometimes, unfortunately, when we're drifting off the path, we need, we need these wake-up calls. And unfortunately, we've had way too many of them. But the Sfas Emes is going to go on to describe something incredible. And what he says is that every mitzvah we do brings more light into the world. And each individual mitzvah is an individual candle that starts to light up the darkness. And he says that really, with the world we're living in right now, Olam hazeh, it's a world of chitzonius, and it's really the world we live in. People only see the outside. So if, people are beautiful, they only see the outside. And sometimes they don't see, if someone doesn't have that beautiful exterior, they don't see the truly beautiful soul that they truly are, that the person really is, and they only see the exterior. And sometimes some things are beautiful on the outside, but unfortunately, sometimes they're not so beautiful on the inside, in the soul, in the deepest level. We only see the outside, and sometimes, like false leaders or leaders that don't wish the best for people, they'll say the pleasant, sweet words, and people only see the outside. And sometimes they don't see the inner meaning. So we don't see the truth of the world. But what we really don't see, Sfas Emes is telling us, what we really don't see is we don't see that the world is filled with Hashem. The world is created, the world is run by this infinite being, an infinite God that loves all mankind and wants to give everyone the best. The Ramchal describes in his book Das Tavunos, knowing God's plan, that Hashem wants to give the best. He wants to give good to all of mankind, but we have to earn it or we won't feel it's ours. So in order for the good to be ours, we have to earn it in this world. And we begin to earn it by doing the Torah, by following the mitzvah, learning Torah and following the mitzvahs. And every time we do a mitzvah aseh, we do a positive mitzvah, it brings light into the world. And every time we refrain from doing something bad, and we listen to the lo taseh, and we don't do it, we also bring light in the world. And this process builds and builds, and it's been building over for 4,000 years. Every mitzvah brings more light into the world and begins to reveal the panemius, the inside, the true inner essence of everyone and the world itself, that this world is good and that evil is fleeting. And the only purpose of evil is to be defeated and to be destroyed, and that the whole world will become good. And we do it step by step. We do it candle after candle. And each one of us lights hopefully many candles every day. I mean, David HaMelech, King David, instituted this beautiful thing of saying 100 brachas, bring 100 blessings into the world every day. And the lights begin to grow. And soon the great light of the Torah will illuminate the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light of Hashem. And we'll see that the world, as Hashem said, on every day of creation, except the second day, which is the day of separation. But every day of unity, Hashem said it's good. And when he created mankind, when he created Adam and Chava, he said it's very good because we have this mission. We are going to bring the light into the world. We're going to transform this Olam Hazeh into Olam Haba. And we're going to see the true beauty and the good of the world. So Bezrat Hashem, as we approach almost a year now from October the 7th, this year, Bezrat Hashem, this year we all dance. We all dance on the next Simchas Torah. We dance together as one people, and we dance together for Hashem our God, and we dance and we bring the mitzvos, the light of the mitzvos, and the great light of the Torah into the world. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.